Hey Flower Tribe, so today I'm going to show you how to arrange your Annabelle hydrangeas. If we haven't met yet, it's nice to meet you. My name is Kelly Lehman and I'm the owner of Cranbury Fields Flower Farm. So please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel because I love giving you guys fun, free flower tips. And make sure you hit the bell notification so you know whenever I post a brand new video. So let's dive right in. So on one of the past videos in this hydrangea tip playlist series that we have, we talked about when is the best time to cut your Annabelle hydrangea. So we gave you some great tips on that. If you missed that video, no worries, we'll put a link to it below. And we have lots of other videos in that playlist also about how to prune your hydrangeas and more arranging tips. So here we are with our dried, semi-dried Annabelle hydrangea. We cut these from the hedge when it was in a semi-dry form. So Annabelle hydrangea, they bloom beautiful white and then they turn to like this lime green stage. So right now these guys are like semi-dried out. So we talked about some of the other steps involved in making sure that these guys have the longest phase life, and that involved giving them a fresh cut. We're going to cut on a diagonal like we always do, and that gives you lots of surface space so that a lot of water can get in there. Oops! And here is just a quick hydrangea florist power tip. You're going to dunk your hydrangea stems into alum powder. And alum powder just kind of breaks up some of that bacteria. It kind of prevents the bacteria that kind of seeps out through these hydrangea stems and causes havoc and makes sure hydrangeas droop prematurely. So you're going to give it a dunk in the alum powder, and you can find alum in your food stores like ShopRite. It's under like the McCormick's spices, and people use this for pickling, but for some reason it works really well with hydrangeas and keeping that water flow going up the stems. So basically what I would like this arrangement to do is to dry out completely, because then I can have it in my house like the entire year. So the idea is to put these guys in a cool spot in the house. So you don't want to have them in direct sunlight, and you don't want to have them by a heat source. And if you keep them in fresh water and you keep them away from heat sources, they should dry out nicely. And what we did with this arrangement is kind of like the same thing that we did with some of the peony arrangements that we did. So I'm trying to shift my flowers over so you have the best view. So basically, I took some of the hydrangeas that had the shorter stems, and I put the shorter stemmed hydrangeas on the bottom. You'll see this whole bottom layer has shorter stems. And then the next layer has hydrangeas that have taller stems. Let's get some of these guys going here. So we have them in all different stem sizes. So we've got the low gals lining the bottom. Then we've got the medium gals that are kind of in the middle. And then we've got the super giant big daddies right on top. And the nice thing about hydrangeas is they kind of can sit on each other. They can kind of like balance each other out. So if you don't have the perfect shape right away, you can kind of play with these guys until you get the shape that you like. And then once these guys start drying out, you can even give them a spray with some of these flower paints that you can get. I'll put a link to these. I have an Amazon shop with like florist tool ideas on there. And so you can buy some of these just for flower spray paint. Don't use regular spray paint because that'll kill them. And you can kind of give it like a quick little shot to kind of make it a little bit greener. And this florist spray paint is really good for when these guys get a little bit older, and a few months from now they're going to dry out even more and they're going to lose a little bit of their color, but you can give them a shot with this spray paint. Great florist power tip, this floral spray paint. And now you can put these guys anywhere in your house. And I wanted to show you an arrangement that I put together probably over a year ago. And the idea, once again, was to have dried out hydrangeas. Now these guys are limelights, and they look like this a year later. So let me try to get one of the best faces forward. And what I'll do now is I'll just take, once again, the spray paint that we have. I've got all different colors. I've got this in pinks and greens, and I'll just kind of give it a pick-me-up. So these stems right now aren't even sitting in water anymore. I let the water evaporate, and I have these guys sitting in my fireplace, which is such a beautiful look in the summer and spring. If you have a fireplace, you just take the grating out, and you could put your hydrangeas that are dried out in an elegant vessel like this copper one that I found. And then you just kind of brighten it up. And it looks really cool. And it's giant, and it's wonderful, and it's here year-round. And just one more florist power tip about your hydrangeas, guys. Hydrangeas don't like floral foam. So a lot of times you'll want to make an arrangement, you'll use that fresh floral foam, but these guys are not going to want you to use that. So when you have fresh hydrangeas, make sure that they always go inside water. Because they need that water absorption to come up. If you keep them out of water, or you let the water dissipate too fast and they're not dried out yet, they're going to flop on you. So make sure that you don't put them in Oasis floral foam unless it's just for a day, because after a while that's going to clog up the stems and cause it to wilt prematurely. Keep the water fresh. Another great idea is to clean out your water every 2 days, and make sure that you have either like a floral preservative in here, or if you don't have the floral preservative, you can make your own. You can add just a few drops, like tiny drops of bleach, because that acts as an antibacterial, and that will prevent the stems from clogging up so fast. And you can add like a teaspoon of sugar, because that's going to provide food for your hydrangeas to keep them fresher longer as they're trying to dry out. So if you don't want to use bleach, which I totally get, because whenever I use bleach I get everything all white, you can use vodka. So vodka you can use a couple droplets of that, and that will act as your antibacterial. So yeah, and just be careful your plants don't get a drinking problem, because, no, just kidding. So, and that's basically your hydrangea tip for today. And once again, we have tons of other hydrangea tips on our playlist. So please feel free to subscribe to our channel and check out the rest of our videos. And I'll see you guys on the next video.